Okay.
Okay, we'll pass it off to you, Brad.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So just wanted to start off by saying thank you very much to the Barrie Chamber of Commerce for inviting me and having me put on this presentation. Fair warning, like all live presentations, there might be some hiccups here and there and everywhere. It is a interactive workshop, so hopefully everybody can participate and build their own virtual employee. Full disclosure, the employee we're going to build is basically a custom GPT, and we're gonna be creating three different files that you're going to need to use ChatGPT for. So the instructions are all found on our website. So if you just go to www.b4net.ca/Barry, it will save a whole lot of time and effort because all of the prompts that you'll be using, you'll be able to copy and paste directly from there. But if you don't want to download the instructions, Heather will also is going to be copying the prompts and pasting them into the chat. And so you'll be able to copy them from there. We're going to have a little bit of chat earlier on, just talking a little bit about AI. But if you can, just go to chatgpt.com, create an account if you don't have one. If you have a paid account, it's better because then your GPT that you're going to be creating will be permanent, and you'll be able to train it on an ongoing basis. If you don't have a paid account, it's okay. I can still show you how to use what we're going to be teaching you today. It just means that you may lose the history every time it resets. So you just have to re-upload the three files each time you want to have a conversation. Um, okay, so let's dive right in. So the first thing I wanted to cover off is, for those of you who are familiar with AI, and we've probably been hearing it all over the news and all over the place, and it's kind of getting a little tiresome to be honest. But one of the things you should all be aware of is that AI really is a game changer. And in the words of one of the AI entrepreneurs, AI is going to be the biggest opportunity for business today, and it's going to be bigger than what the internet was for the businesses of late 20th century. So really what you want to think and ask yourself is, do you really want to wait and let your competition overtake you? What we're going to be talking about today is more on the marketing side of things, but you can definitely use AI in all aspects of your business. And once you understand how to create your own GPTs, and this is just with ChatGPT, there's lots of other AI based applications out there. Once you learn how to use them, you can actually use GPT to ask for how the prompt would look best, or what prompt can I use to do this, and it'll actually give you a really good prompt to use. So you don't even need to really know how to use it too much. Um, so I wanted to cover off some common questions. So there's five questions that come up very often. Is AI secure? How difficult is it to implement? What are the best AI tools for small business? Can AI help with marketing efforts? And what is the impact on my SEO? I don't think I actually have that one described, but I can talk about it anyway. So is AI secure? Let's dive into that one. Um, Couple of things here. I'm not a legal expert, so if you need to get legal advice, please seek out a lawyer. They're a lot more familiar with the law than I am. But know that uh, any one of the things you have to keep in mind is if you're not paying for a service, you are the service, and so you'll be training the AI with your whatever input you have. So if you have any information that's proprietary, you probably don't want to be pasting it into publicly available AIs. You want to be using a private one that you control, and you control the data, and those are available. If you do use a publicly available one, look through their terms and conditions. That's the only place you'll find whether they are going to use the information that you provide it to train itself, right? So I've heard of folks taking an entire book that they've written, copying it, pasting it into GPT and saying, "Hey, can you check this for spelling mistakes?" And now the AI essentially has a copy of your book, right? So just be careful as to what you do. Transparency is key. Look through the information that's available, and whether you want to trust GPT or not. If you're paying for the service, typically there is a way to turn off using your information to train it for everybody else. All right, how difficult is it to implement AI? So just before we get started, it's important to know the difference between AI and automation. A lot of folks are building automation into their businesses. So AI is essentially a technology that can mimic human intelligence. It can learn and make decisions from data without strictly predefined rules. Automation is kind of the opposite. It's technology that performs tasks over and over and over again with a very predefined set of rules and processes, and is typically used to increase efficiency and reduce human involvement. So, an example of an automation would be, for example, if you have an automation process that when you create an account, it does a bunch of other, creates accounts on a bunch of other places for you. That would be a version of automation. We're not talking about automation today. Today, we're only going to strictly be talking about generative AI. And so is it yeah, is it difficult to implement? No, it's only as hard as you make it. Like all new technologies, you have to implement one step at a time. Just take your time, have fun with it. A lot of people try to get very technical with ChatGPT. It's very interactive. So if you work with it in human language and just ask it what you're looking for, it will work with you. Especially the when we create your own custom GPT, it will learn and every future interaction you have with it will contain the information you've given it before. So it will remember. So for example, if it generates an article you didn't like because the tone was wrong, you can just say, hey, I didn't like that tone. Please, be a little gentler and maybe use, grade 5 language or whatever the case may be. Okay. Any questions so far? Excellent. Okay. So what are the best AI tools? There's so many AI tools to use. I'm only going to cover off 5 really cool ones that I just recently learned. And again, full disclosure, this entire presentation is, I don't want to say copy and pasted from somebody that I went to a conference 4 months ago, but a lot of it is content that I've received at other training conferences that I thought was so really cool that I wanted to share it with everybody else. These are 5 AI tools that you could use. The first one is ChatGPT. That's the one we're going to be using today. It's really good for things like brainstorming ideas, drafting emails, articles, reports. You could create customer service bots. You can create bots that will answer your employees' questions on things like if you have an employee manual, you can create a chat bot that will answer questions on your employee manual, things like that. Claude.ai is good for long form copy. So if you're looking at making very long articles, or maybe perhaps if you're looking to do white papers or books, it's good at that. Anything that's a lot of content, it could take an outline that you've created and break it apart into full documents. It's good at making technical documentation, and it's very good at detailed content creation. A really, really neat one that we just learned about. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'm going to say it's maybe Queso, is a video content editor. So you essentially upload a video and it will break it up into small segments, maybe like 30 seconds to 1 minute video segments that you can then use across your other social media. So if, for example, this presentation, if after once we get the recording, we can completely take that, send it to Queso, and it will take little bits and pieces and create me some social media marketing that I can post, 30-minute segment or 30-second segments online versus taking the entire content, right? So if you're looking at reusing some of the existing content you have, that's a really, really good one. The next one I thought was really cool is Sora.com. You can basically use ChatGPT to say, or Claude.ai to say, I'm looking to create a video. Can you give me a prompt for Sora.com? That would be really good to create, this video, and you can explain what it is you're looking for. It will give you a prompt. You put it in Sora.com, which is essentially available to you if you have ChatGPT, the paid version. Sora is free, and it will create a video from the text that you gave, like a full scale video. That goes through, so if you want to animate it, it'll make it animated. If you want it to look more realistic, it'll make it realistic. It's really neat. So if you're looking to create really short 30 seconds to, 2-minute videos for your social media content, you can totally do that there. And the last one I thought was really neat is if you have some images and there's, for example, text in the images, or there's just like bits and pieces of the image you want to modify, there's a part of Canva called Magic Studio, and in there you can take bits and pieces and either if it's a piece of text, but you don't have the actual text, it's an image, you can just click the text or highlight the text, say I want to change this, and it will convert it to text, and then you can just modify the text and make it say whatever you want. Or you can take pieces of the image and delete them, and it will regenerate the background as if it was never there in the first place, which is really neat when it comes to marketing. It lets you do a lot of things that you otherwise would have to have a designer for. Okay. Any questions before we jump over to the next? All right. Can AI help with my marketing efforts? The short answer is yes. The long answer is also yes. You can do a lot of different things with AI that will help in marketing. It's one of the earliest areas where the majority of the industry have decided that to use AI, and that's because it's really good at generating content. If you do it right, if you just use ChatGPT straight out of the box and you expect it to produce really great content, it's probably everybody is going to know exactly who created that, and it wasn't you. So that's what we're going to do today. Is we're going to be basically creating a guru that talks about or that is programmed to write in the writing style and to the target market that you're looking to market to. So the long answer is absolutely yes. You can use AI in marketing efforts, and in fact, it's probably one of the most used use cases there is so far. Okay, so let's dive in. So we're going to be opening up ChatGPT in a few seconds. And so if you have not yet downloaded the prompts or the information, the instructions, just again, b4net.ca/Barry, it will take you to the following site. And you can download right here. Just I don't know why it embeds it like that. Just click download and then it'll download it and you can open it up. And all the instructions are there, but we'll be going through them one at a time. So here's the instructions. And it looks something like this. So you'd be copying anything that has the yellow thing there. You'd just be copying the prompts that are next to it. And I'll show you what that looks like in a few moments. Okay, so the first, we're going to break this down into 5 steps. If at any point in time you have questions, this is interactive. You can stop me and we can work through it together. We can shift over to you presenting, or if you just have, if you're struggling, we can certainly help. Bear in mind that if you're not completely 100% familiar with ChatGPT, this might be really new to you. If you are familiar with it, then you probably won't have a problem. So the very first thing we're going to do is you're going to open ChatGPT and you're going to prompt it with the following prompt. Please create me a detailed business profile on whatever market you're looking to market to. So for me, it is greenhouses. So my example is please create me a detailed business profile on the greenhouse industry, specifically flower growers in the Simcoe County, in the context of what they want or need to work with a managed service provider, aka outsourced IT services. So if I were to take that prompt, which just got to, I have a video recording of it. There we go. This is what it'll look like. So you click on ChatGPT up in the corner and just paste it verbatim, and it will generate an industry overview of the flower greenhouse industry. Can everybody see that? Am I still sharing the screen? Okay. All right. Once you have this part done, what you're going to do is you're going to copy you're going to highlight everything and copy it. And then you're going to save it as a Word document. So I'll show you what that looks like because my video that I created for that didn't work correctly. So I'll just do it manually. Oops. I won't let it copy the whole I won't let it generate the whole thing because it'll take a little too long. But basically, once you have it, I'm just going to stop it here. Once you have it, you're going to highlight everything and then right-click copy, and you're going to open up a Word document, a blank Word document, paste it, and file save as, and you're going to save it somewhere on your computer where all the files are together. I won't save this one because I already got a copy of it. Name it if you can. Name it business profile like that because we will reference it a little bit further on in the instructions. Is anybody doing this along with me or? Okay, Bruce, you are. Ashley, you are. Okay, good. Anybody need a little extra time or are we okay to carry on? Okay, so let's jump over to the next one. So now we're going to be creating, so the first file we created is just the business profile. So this is the business profile in your target market, who you're trying to market to. The next one we're going to do is creating a buyer avatar. So this would be the person who works at that company. We're going to be creating an avatar for that person, essentially telling ChatGPT, this is what my buyer looks like, and um, I'll show you what that looks like. So you're going to open up the following. Sorry, you're going to open up ChatGPT, and then there's a Explore GPTs here, and you'll just search for that Perry Belcher brand avatar builder, or you can just copy and paste the link that Heather put in the chat. Makes it a lot easier. And then you're going to upload the file. So you're going to click on this little plus sign. You're going to upload the file you just created, which is Greenhouse Business Profile or the business profile. Then you're going to copy the prompt based on the doc I just gave you. Please give me a perfect avatar for a buyer of and to describe what your services are. So for me, for example, it is, and this is just me going over what it looks like. So you'll see me searching for it. One we're doing is the brand avatar builder. You hit start chat, click the plus, upload the file. You can't see me doing it, but it's there. And then you're going to paste that, or you're going to put that chat in there based on doc I just gave you. Please give me a perfect avatar for a buyer of information technology managed services. And so now it's basically creating a profile of what that person looks like. And it's not detailed enough yet. And so what we're going to do is we're going to prompt it with the next prompt, which is, so you're going to leave the information there. You're going to take the second prompt, copy and paste that, let it build it all out. Then you're going to copy and paste the third prompt, let it build all that out. So what we're really trying to do is really get down to the nitty gritty of what that person might look like and what they might feel like. So once you've done those things, you'll have a document that's you would want to save as the client avatar. So you'll highlight everything like I showed you before and save that file as client avatar. And I'm going to find mine in here. And so this is the kind of information it should generate for you, right? So this is, what kind of fears and angers this person has, what their jargon is, what kind of jargon they have. So you can review the information, and if you think, oh, it didn't get it quite right, you can modify it and before you move on. So then there's a second one, like what their day looks like, where they hang out, the kind of language they use. It basically gives you the whole profile. Now you're not going to use this, but ChatGPT will. So you're going to be using this when we program ChatGPT. All right, I'm going to pause there and just see if there are any questions or if everybody's following along. Anybody stuck? How are we doing, Bruce? Good?
Just a couple steps behind you, just trying to keep up, but I'm good.
Me too.
Okay.
Me too.
I'll
Thank
pause for a
you.
few seconds. Thanks, Emily. I appreciate you letting me know.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I was just noticing I had some trouble with the link on the PDF, so I updated it to the correct link. I don't know if anyone
Okay.
else had trouble clicking on the PDF link, if it showed up incorrectly, but the correct link is now in the chat.
Thank you, Heather. I did test all of this before, so I
I
apologize
don't know
if
if
there's
it's
any
just my
errors.
ChatGPT. It just said something's going on.
Okay. All right. I'll give it a few more seconds. Any questions in the meantime from anybody who's just it doesn't have to be related to what we're talking about here. All right. So hopefully everybody's caught up, and if not, it's okay. All the instructions are there. You have them all, and I'm happy to answer questions at the end, and or if you want a one-on-one, I can certainly see if we can accommodate that as well. So we'll jump over to the next section, which is we're now going to be creating our guru. So the first thing we created is a business profile. The second we created is the client avatar. That's the person you're targeting with your marketing. This next one is the guru, the person who's going to be writing your articles. So we're going to be programming in what that person looks like and who they look like. So you're going to go to that link, and Heather's posted the link in the chat, or you can just hit Explore GPTs and type Barry Pelcher, and the one we're looking for is the guru creation one. Okay. The first one was a brand avatar. This is the guru creation one. So I should have a video of this. So yeah, I did it the long way so folks can see the whole thing. So hit start chat, and then you're going to paste the first prompt and upload the files. So you're going to upload 2 files, both the business profile and the client avatar, and then you're going to ask it. First question, you don't have to ask if you don't want to, but this basically just, hey, create me a famous person that it should sound like that's relatable. If you already know somebody that in your industry that you want to mimic, you can, and they're well known, or if somebody that's famous, you want to sort of copy them. A lot of people will use some very well spoken folks for this part. This part is just basically, letting GPT who you want it to sound like. Then what you're going to do is there's two more prompts. You're going to copy the second prompt and then the third prompt. And again, what we're trying to do here is just dive in more and more and get as much detail as possible. So the first prompt or the second prompt here will generate you an avatar based on the famous person you selected. Third prompt will just expand upon it with more emotions. For those of you who know sales marketing, people buy on emotion, not on logic. You can tell them all day long this is what they need, and unless they have some sort of pain or some sort of emotional attachment to it, they may not or probably won't buy. So if that third prompt, that's what it's doing. It's really talking about the emotional level and how to connect with them. So what that looks like now, once we've got that part done, is you'll get a guru, and it will look something like this, and you'll save it to another Word document or whatever your favorite text editor is. And you can see here, it's got some information on what writing style, how they'll write. Now, if you disagree with anything here, you can change it. So if you look at the sense of humor and say, well, I don't want them to be dry, I want them to be more bubbly, so you can change it. Essentially, this is what your guru will sound like. So if you want to, give it a change, you can. Give it a few more seconds. So this is just talking about, so you're going to save it as guru. So copy and paste. And by the time that you're done, you should have 3 files. There's a client avatar, a business profile, and a guru. Okay, so this is where it gets fun. So if you have a paid version of ChatGPT, someone's waiting in the lobby. Okay, if you have a paid version of ChatGPT, then you're going to create your own custom GPT at this point. If you don't, you can still use these documents. It just means you have to upload them each time. So I'll show you what that looks like if you don't have ChatGPT paid version, and that way you know what I'm talking about. So you'll have to copy the prompt. So this is what we're going to be. So before I get to step 4, for those of you who don't have a paid version, I'll show you what it looks like real quick. All right, so if you don't have a paid version, what you're going to do is you're going to have ChatGPT open. Sorry, I got so many windows open right here. There it is. So you're going to have ChatGPT open at its default setting. You're going to upload all 3 of the files. And then you're going to leave it the instructions. So for the rest of this conversation, you are, and then it's the same prompt as before, right? And then now it'll say, okay, great. So this, if you don't have a paid version of it, this is what you could do. And then you can ask it to write you an article, and then the rest of the instructions make sense. If you have a paid version, then what we're going to be doing is using the ability to create a permanent GPT that you can then reference at any point in time you want. And so that's what this will look like here. You're going to click on My GPTs, sorry, the diamond, top right corner, My GPTs, then create a GPT. I'll show you what that looks like live as well. So you click on the diamond, My GPTs.
Bryan, can you just pause for a minute? There's a couple people that would like to catch up.
Yeah, no problem.
Or maybe we can go back one step just to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also just had a quick question there, Bryan.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. Very informative. I'm just wondering if I need to actually save those files or if I can just copy and paste what all the outputs were and put them in my new GPT.
No, you really do want to save them as a Word document, and I'll show you why. Once you're creating the GPT itself, you're going to upload the files from here. right? So you're going
Oh,
to upload
got
these
it.
files, and then now they're going to be
Okay, that's
permanently
why.
attached to this configuration.
Okay,
Um,
thank you.
right. So I've already done this before, and so you can see I've got a couple of them here. The neat thing about it is once you've created it, if you want to modify it, you can just come in here and modify it. So for example, if any of the things that it's generating is not good, like I dislike that long dash that ChatGPT always has. So you can say, in all output, do not use the long dash, and it won't use that long dash. There's some key things about AI that they're being utilized, people usually know instantly, oh, that was AI that did that. And so you can go in here and you can configure it to say, don't use those things because everybody knows that that's AI. And so, it's a way for you to program it in the future. And it will also continue learning from you. So if you're using any of these, you can say, generate a 1,000 page or word. I'm just gonna, yeah. Let's say it didn't generate it right. You can then say, that sounded too serious going forward. Use a more playful tone, and it will program that GPT then going forward. And it should say save. Didn't this time. So I don't know if we still need to pause or if you guys want me to take a few steps back.
No one has said anything in the chat. I just asked if anyone wants a review.
Okay. All right, so the next set of instructions are basically when you are in my GPT and you're creating your own custom GPT. Thought I muted that. Okay, you're going to go to the configure tab, and here's where you're just going to put those instructions that are in the prompt, or not the prompt, the this one right here, the instructions. So name it. I'm just going to test it, upload the files, and that's basically, and then you just hit create, and it will create you your GPT. And now you'll see my GPTs are on the left here. They're all greenhouse ones. So the greenhouse 2 is one I just created. And from here, you can test it. So you can actually give it a question. So you can say, hey, what are the instructions I gave you? I just want to verify that you understand what it is I'm looking for. And so what that looks like is this. And it'll drone on forever here because it's basically taking all those files and telling me what it is that it's going to do. So I won't let it do the whole thing because it could take a little while for it to generate all that. But you'll see it's basically saying, here's my avatar, and then it'll say who it's writing as. So I'm just going to stop it there because it could go on forever. Once you've generated that part, then this is where you can start using it. So for example, for myself, because this is a greenhouse one, I can just say, hey, please write me 1,000-word article. And now one of the things you'll probably want to do as well is, because the first time it really doesn't do a really great job, if you don't like the article, you can then turn around and just say, hey, this reads like, and use English, right? So just say whatever it sounds like. So if you think it's too serious or out of tone, or it's using words that you don't want it to use, you can just tell it and then it'll rewrite the article for you. So it's basically written an article here. Now you can use it verbatim or modify it, use it as a soup starter. I'm a big fan of using anything ChatGPT puts out as a soup starter. So it's a way for you to now then take this information. You can use it verbatim as is and paste it on social media if you want, or you can use it as, something that you can modify and make it more you, and then paste it on social media and or create a blog post or whatever. So this one here is a 1,000 words, so it's a little bit on the lengthy side. If you're looking to just do one that's for LinkedIn, you can say the same thing, rewrite for LinkedIn under 200 words, and then they can use that. right? So it's summarized a little bit more. And again, you can modify it, make changes to it. What else could you use this for? One of the neat things is if there's something going on in your industry and there's already somebody who's written a really good article about it, what you could do is summarize. You can take the link to the article, paste it, and only the paid version, I believe, will let you paste a link. Otherwise, you have to copy the whole text and say, hey, here's an article I saw online. Can you write an article or can you write a blog post for me using the Guru and it will generate one based on your target market. Even if it has nothing to do with your target market, maybe they're talking about some software and you're like, oh, that would really be good software we can use in our industry, even if it's not made for our industry. You can then say, write this article about this software, how it can be applicable to the greenhouse industry, and it will generate the article. If it's a news article, you can copy the link to the news article, paste it in ChatGPT, and it will go rewrite it in your own words. And you can play with it, have fun. So you can do all sorts of things. You can tell it to create a podcast or a script. There's actually an AI out there. I believe it's called Notebook.lm that you can give it a like a I don't know, maybe your website, and it will create a podcast pre-recorded. It's crazy. It's two people talking about your website, and you didn't do anything. It's incredible. I won't dive too much into that, but it is really neat. Another thing you can do is if you have topics or headings that you're thinking of writing an article on, you can just put those headings in that new Guru you just created and say, hey, I want you to write me an article on this, and it will go out into the internet and search for information and pull it in and make you your article, and then you can just massage it from there. So the reason we concentrated on the sales and marketing side is because that's where a lot of people are using, but you don't have to use this just for sales and marketing. You can also use it, like I said at the beginning, you can use it to create an employee handbook. You can create a customer service handbook that's customer facing, so you can create public GPTs. The only thing you'd probably want to do is put disclaimers out there saying, the information here is for use in a informational purposes only. If you want the real answers, you definitely got to reach out to our customer service team. But for the most part, if you're telling the with the instruction saying only pull information from the files that are attached, then ChatGPT will only reference the materials that are in your files, and so you should have real information. But then again, it is AI, so use at your own risk. You can create an image generator. So if you're using one of the later versions of ChatGPT, you can also use it to generate images. So if you have a lot of question and answers on your website, for example, you can copy and paste them all into a Guru that you create that then either your staff and or your customers can reference as well. So there's all sorts of things you can create. In fact, if you take a look at Explore GPTs, all of these GPTs are things that other folks have created and that you can then utilize. So if you're searching for, I searched for law earlier, Ontario legal. I don't know if anything came up. Yeah, Ontario law. So here's an expert in Ontario law offering bilingual analysis. So you can click on this one, start a conversation, and then you can ask it questions on, family law in Ontario or whatever. Now, again, all of this is use at your own risk. These are GPTs that other people have created. But this is essentially what we've done is we've created our own that's for private use. Now you can publish it for anybody to use if you really wanted to. But yeah, and that's the presentation. What do you guys think?
I think it's wonderful. I'm just saving my Guru um, document and then uploading it. I was a little bit
Behind, yeah,
behind, I would
no
say.
problem. Yeah, and that's why I created the PDF so folks can just take this
For
on their own.
sure.
And the chamber is recording, and so I think the video will be made available to everybody as well, for folks to be able to re-record and re-watch. But we've still got a good 20 minutes, so if there's any questions and or comments, or if anybody needs help, definitely here to help and answer more questions. These are too easy. All right. Well, I will pass the floor back then. And
Yeah, absolutely. So, just to answer Matt's question, what I'll do is I'll get this uploaded to YouTube, and I can send all the participants a link so that you guys can review it later on. We'll also attach all the documents as well that Bryan has given us. Um, yeah, does anybody else have any questions? I think that's pretty much it.
Okay.
We'll
If
let you,
anybody's
we'll
looking
let you,
for some assistance on implementing AI in their business or just IT in general, shameless plug. B4 Network's here to help. We're relatively new to the Barrie area. We've only been there for about a year now. We've got a little office somewhere in downtown. I don't exactly remember the name of the street. It's a shared co-location space, but we're primarily based out of Niagara. But my heart is definitely in the Simcoe County area, Muskoka area as well. But yeah, I love that area and would love to get some more clients in the area.
all right. Thanks everybody for joining us. Hopefully that's very useful to you, and I'm sure the rest of you will be spending your afternoon playing around with ChatGPT.
I do plan on doing more webinars on the 5 other AIs we talked about. I don't know, it'll probably just be pre-recorded videos that you can get off our website. So just come back every so often and check out that page, the Barrie page, and I'll update it with any information as I put it out there.
Right. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.